Well, a ban has been upheld by the Israeli District Court on Wednesday night on Jewish prayer on the Temple Mount. This overturns a ruling by a lower court, which was issued earlier this week, that appeared to have allowed such activity. Since 1967, Israel has maintained a status quo at the Temple Mount to Muslims as Al-Haram al-Sharif. This allows for only Muslim worship for visitors there. But in recent years, there's been a push by right-wing activists and politicians to allow for Jewish prayer at the site, the holiest in Judaism and the third holiest in Islam, a move that's sparked protest in the international community, especially among Palestinians and the Arab world. Meantime, the IDF is preparing for the possibility of rocket fire on Israel in connection with Sunday's flag march in Jerusalem. Last year, during the nationalist parade, Hamas fired rockets through the old city and is again threatening to take action. Our defence correspondent Jonathan Regev joins me in studio now to discuss this a little bit more. So, Jonathan, this ban that's been upheld by the Israeli District Court, it just happened on Wednesday, but tell us any latest details on this now.
Probably not surprising that this comes just as the flag parade is approaching. Right-wing nationalist Jews want to use this opportunity also to go up and pray at the Temple Mount, but there's a status quo maintained for nearly 55 years since the place was conquered by Israel in the Six-Day War, when the city was reunited. And at least for the moment, the district court is maintaining the status quo, meaning the Jews can ascend to the Temple Mount in organized groups in designated hours, but not pray there or anything else, just walk by. Still, only Muslims can maintain there as a place of worship. At least for now, the status quo is maintained, but we're seeing that it is constantly challenged by both sides.
And also, we've got the flag march that's happening this Sunday. It's an annual march that happens, but Jerusalem has been on edge recently, mostly surrounding the Temple Mount. What can we expect before this parade that will be happening? And also, especially, organisers are saying that attendance will be limited in certain parts, especially around the Western Wall.
First of all, we have to say that the flag parade and the fact that it passes through the Damascus Gate and the Muslim Quarter, that's not something new. This is something that has been going on for decades and has sparked protests among Palestinians and left-wing supporters for decades now. Last year, the organizers, eventually under pressure from the security establishment, changed the route going through the Jaffa Gate, but that the march ended with rockets to Jerusalem anyway. There's a big conflict now between the security establishment and the diplomatic establishment in Israel. The security establishment saying that 72 hours before the march, Israel simply cannot change the route simply because Hamas is threatening. That would be giving into their threats, and that's something that Israel cannot do. The diplomatic establishment is saying that Israel is under pressure already due to the events seen with the death of journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, and especially the sights that we saw during the funeral, that coffin being taken, and the clashes with police. At least for the moment, the march is scheduled for Sunday afternoon. It's supposed to take place as planned now, meaning the men will march through the Damascus Gate and the Muslim Quarter all the way to the Western Wall. The women will do it through the Jaffa Gate and the Jewish Quarter.
Jonathan Regev, thank you so much. Our defence correspondent giving us all the latest details there. Well, for now, though, we're ducking out for a short break. When we do get back, the US President and First Lady will be travelling to Texas in the coming days to console families of the shooting victims killed at an elementary school. We'll be back in a tick.